Good morning. Today is the 5th of November. I finally got back my Ford Raptor, which went kaput sometimes in September. In September, I think I will show the few of the pictures what happened and narrate what happened. I was driving normally to work. Suddenly the Ford just went into limp mode, and it stopped, and then the engine shut down by itself with plenty of alarm came off. Boom boom boom, one after another the alarm came up. So I was causing a little bit of jam behind me. Immediately put on the hazard light. Was blur for a while, and then I need to get out of that road so that I can free up the traffic. So I started back the car. The alarm went off. All the alarms, they normalized. No more problem, no more issue, no more alarm. Then I drove a little bit, just a little bit, maybe 5 meters, and then it happened again. But that time I was already at the shoulder of the road, so okay, the traffic is clear. But embarrassment was unbearable because, you know, it is a Ford Raptor V6 twin turbo petrol, the high version one, the high spec version. People were looking. It's a Ford. It's those car that is you know, can be considered expensive. So ada malu sikit. Then yeah, then I called up Boston Auto, Gary, the sales guy who sold me this car. So he was good. He was good enough to explain to me that there probably is a battery problem or stuff like that. Then so recommended to bring the Ford to KK because there's no Ford service center or any Ford guys or any Ford shop in Labuan. Yeah, so I decided during the time to try to go back home, send the car back home and exchange the car because I needed to go to work. Then was able to start for a little bit, and then went to Sebor area, and then it happened again. The car just went limp and dead with all the alarm popping up. Every alarm, every conceivable alarm that is possible to come up, it came up. So I was parked in one of the detailing shop. It was kind of embarrassing. So called up the insurance. The number is on the windscreen there, to arrange for towing. So they got my details, blah blah blah. Then it was, so they did some verification and blah blah blah. Then I think they were looking for towing companies. So I waited a little bit, can't wait any longer, so I just had to leave the car there. Got my wife to pick me up from the place, from Sebor, and send me to work. So arrange all the things. So Wong Brothers, I think, answered the call from the insurance, so I had to deal with them. So then the insurance company was what's the name of the insurance company? Is it AIA or Aegis? Okay, so they told me that the insurance only cover 100 kilometer. So from Labuan to KK is, I don't know, 156 or 170. So I had to top up the rest. I think the insurance covered only 680 ringgit. So the overall bill was 1,800 ringgit. So I have to top up about 1,000 something, including the ferry for this car. I had to top up that one. So okay, Chinchay, about 1,200 ringgit I have to pay, my own money, just to get the car towed. So they at the petang tu, in the after office hours. So made an appointment with the towing guy, Randy. Okay, so he towed the car, brought it back to Wong Brothers. I think the next day only they could get a ferry, so they managed to get it on the ferry and to Menumbuk, and then Menumbuk to Boston. So all this time I was actively informing Boston Auto about the whereabouts of the car, when it's supposed to arrive. The insurance was also always calling and asking for evidences where the car is. So there was a lot of communication between the towing guy, insurance people, Boston, so that everything is proven, with proven and not a scam or something like this. Anyway, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay. It's a check and balance. I'm okay with that. It's professionally done. It's what's supposed to be done. So then the story about the Boston. So immediately after the car was there, they did some tests. I think they tested this car several days to verify my claim or the incident that happened. I think about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks later, then they told me that there's some problem with the power control module, and they needed to do some more tests. So they do their checking and stuff like that. After about 1 month, they confirm that the PCM module is the issue, and it needed replacement. So it was an issue with warranty. Not issue, there was a question about the warranty. Then Ford informed me because of I did install a dash cam, front and rear dash cam. I'll show you the videos later. Maybe I show now. Where is this turning? That dash cam, and at the rear, from the rear mirror, you can see that dash cam over there. Okay, this is a 70 my dash cam. Okay, that dash cam apparently cannot be installed because this is something like a 24-hour surveillance dash cam type. It's one of those quite pricey. I paid quite pricey for this. Where did I go? There is a car accessories shop that was recommended by Ford. I think it was that 2020 or something in Pedampang. I bought it from there, installed by them. So I went there under the recommendation of Ford, not on my own choice and stuff like that, but under the recommendation of Ford. So I went there and installed, because this is one of the two things that Ford recommended me to install is dash cam, cover at the back. So first the dash cam. So the dash cam was connected. I think I will have I took a lot of photos during the time. I will share the photos how they connected it. So Ford told me that I think one of the wires is connected to the fuse box. So Ford informed me that this is not allowed, and they have removed it. So the wire is dangling down there. The wire from the dash cam is dangling down there. They have removed it. Okay, and another install that they said is not possible to be installed or cannot be installed is I installed a Red Spring a Hammer roll bar from Red Spring, Kuala Lumpur. Original. This is an authentic one. I will get the detail, the specification detail of this roll bar. I kind of forgot about it now. So the third brake light cannot be tapped to the third brake light of Ford. Cannot. Okay, the third brake light of the roll bar is tapping. Is tapped from the third brake light from the Ford punya end back cover tu. What do you call that? There's a name for that cover, I forgot. Okay, you cannot tap from there, so they cut it. They simply cut the wire. And the spotlight that came together with that roll bar is connected to this switch here. It's wired to this switch, which is, where is that switch? There. Can you see it? That switch is connected. It's wired to there. Even this is not allowed. This one, even that is not allowed. So they cut the wires, probably because they need to take some evidence to show to Ford Malaysia or whoever is responsible for the warranty that all the wires are cut. So I think they have to take some evidence and photos like this. Okay, so that spotlight, LED spotlight, is wires has been cut as well. And then the roller shutter. The roller shutter, as informed by Ford, the roller shutter is motorized. I bought the roller shutter also from Red Spring, Kuala Lumpur. Had to wait for some time for them to ship here. Paid good money for it, 6,000 something, 4,000 something total. With the total I paid for the roll bar and the roller shutter, including shipping and installation, is about 8,000 plus. So okay, the roller shutter is Armour, Armour and Clio. So initially during the install, I installed it at Classic Auto according to the instruction from Red Spring, that is their partners workshop. So they asked me to go there to install. So I went there. So met the team from Classic Auto. They're good. They're good. That place is good. The guys are good. So they install according to what's supposed to be installed. During that time also, the Armour and Clio was already having problem. It was not operating smoothly, and it was not able to open the shutter plates or deck was not opening and closing. So they sent somebody to check it. So they did some check. So then it was okay already. It works. But yesterday it was stuck again. Not just yesterday, I think a few times since I purchased it. Now maybe a year later, few times it's stuck. So stuck maybe because it's not stuck, it's just slow movement. So you have to lubricate the rails, which is done. That is simple, which is done. So but yesterday it's completely stuck. It's just not coming. It's coming close. The moment is going to open, so it's stuck maybe 1/3. Then that was because I was just thinking how to open it. Now that Ford asked to disconnect the power, so I had to use my external battery, my fishing external battery, to operate the roller shutter. Okay, so Red Spring is another story. That is also another story. Anyway, Ford, yeah, so far after almost 2 months plus, end of September, October, November, yeah, 2 months plus. Then finally Ford told me that okay, the PCM new unit has arrived. So they replaced it. They tested the car for a few days. So they confirmed all functionality. Then I was in communication with Jeremy, the service guy who was handling my case. So the last time I went for servicing of the Raptor in Boston Auto. So there was a pending item, some software upgrade that they needed to do, but during the time they said the software is not delivered yet, and it will take some days, maybe 2 days for the software to be updated. So it's a pending item. I asked Jeremy whether that is still an issue, so he confirmed with me. He WhatsApped me that he checked the system and there's no pending software updates. So that is done. And then I asked my brother to pick up the car a few days ago because I was busy in Labuan. My brother was having a lot of complaint about Ford. I mean, can I say Ford is Ford, huh? Maybe they think the American product that they can be snobbish, sombong lah, yeah, that's the right word lah, sombong. I mean, it's like this, huh? When you're a seller, when you sell product, okay, fine. Customer are paying money, and the price of these cars, they are not cheap. They are very expensive. 275,000 I pay for this. Loan to bank punya bunga lagi. So you know, I don't know, maybe 290, close to 300,000. Then yeah, okay, my brother was not really impressed, but okay, he did his job. Yeah, thank you my brother, because you helped me to go and pick it up, although you're busy and you have to take Grab from Putatan to Inanam, and then you were rushing and Ford were not ready. They were fiddling to find my key. Funny. Okay, then finally I get to come back to KK to get the car. So brought it to Classic Auto. So asked them about the battery connection. I took some videos to show to Ford that how they connected it. But then again, okay, fine. The third brake light cut. Okay, I'm not gonna use it. Just let the wire be there. And the spotlight, LED spotlight, the Hummer LED spotlight, okay, I will leave it there. I'll probably connect it to something later. Not on this Ford, but maybe to my 80 series or to my Hilux Kun 25, the old one, because they are more receptive. This Toyota, they are more receptive to their product. Their cars are better in a lot of ways compared to Ford. Okay, now first we come to Ford. My personal experience and my opinion about Ford. If okay, from a scale of 1 to 10, being 10 is the best, 0 is the worst. Ford, the car is fast, pickup is good, stability, drivability, comfort. This is futuristic, huh? I mean, this car is good. Reliability, yet to know, because the mileage is okay. The mileage when the PCM first came into trouble was 2,900 something kilometer. 2,900. Okay, now, okay, as I'm speaking now, the mileage is 3,231.6 kilometer. Okay, so the PCM failed at 2,900 kilometer, and the reason for it to fail is because of the dashboard camera connected to the fuse box, and the motorized roller shutter wired to the battery, and the third brake light tapping to the third brake light. the third brake light from the rollbar tapping to the third brake light of Raptor. The PCM failed because of that. Does it make sense? I mean, 275,000 ringgit car which has sport mode, Baja mode, whatever mode, Raptor, BF Goodrich tires, and very aggressive looking car. The brain can be killed simply by these three things I spoke about just now. So, from that point of view, the price of the car, the brand of the car, Ford, it's an American car. America is supposed to build, you know, the best cars in the world, the toughest one, the most badass car in the world, and the brain gets easily killed by those three things I mentioned just now. So, from that point of view, I give Ford 0 mark on the scale. Okay, in terms of performance and everything, in terms of the car build and the engine speed, pickup and everything, that is maybe 7-8. It's good. It's a good car. Okay, in terms of my experience, my personal experience with Boston Auto Inanam, yeah, I mean, these are guys who are working there. Okay, like the foreman, I think the foreman is a shy guy. He doesn't really want to speak. So the service manager or service guy, service executive or whoever was handling my case, Jeremy, from a scale of 0 to 10, I would give him 5. Why? Because he's very reactive. He doesn't really update me about the status of my car. I have to be the one who will be initiating contact every day, every 2 days, asking, okay, have you checked this, what's the status and stuff like that. So he's very reactive. Maybe Ford is selling thousands of cars that the service guys over there, service manager over there, have to handle 100 customer a day. Okay, maybe that makes sense. But if you are handling 10 customers a day, for example, and then you're being reactive like that, for me it's a 5. Cannot be more than 5. 5 is being generous. But I'm just disappointed with that part, you know, the transparency and you know, ownership of customer service. The foreman, okay, he's shy, so I don't really want to judge him, but he did a good job, I think. Management of Boston Auto, from the scale of 0 to 10. Okay, the car is gonna be out. I mean, it was gonna be out for a long time. They knew it was gonna be out for a long time, 2 months. Okay, I did ask if they can provide me a replacement car, you know, some old beat up car just for me to, you know, commute from work, to be independent, to commute from work to office, so I don't have to pester my wife to send me, my wife being my Grab driver. So, but nope, no consideration. What was the answer I got? The answer was, Ford do not provide that kind of thing. And then I asked him about my friend who has a Ford Everest, who bought a Ford Everest from Boston Innanam, and his car was in trouble for quite a lengthy time also. The car was also in trouble. Ford Everest, expensive one, was in trouble, so they gave him a replacement car for as long as the duration of his Ford Everest was at the workshop. So Ford Raptor, they don't give that, because Ford Raptor is a very, very common product. It's not a special product, so they don't do that. They only give that kind of service to special product. For example, Ford Everest. Okay, so then but they did help out. I think they help out with the warranty thing, with the PCM. The PCM was replaced on the warranty, so they help out on that. So I would give also 5, no more than 5. They help out with the warranty, so it was under warranty. I mean, it was replaced under warranty. But they didn't help the customer. So yeah, it's a 5, highest 5, no more than 5. Okay. And what am I gonna do with this Ford, this Raptor? It's just okay. I guess I just have to take it as it is, take it as stock. Don't do anything with this car. Okay lah. For my personal experience, if you how to say this, I would say, in my opinion, if you want to buy a Ford, any Ford product, I would say, if you have the money, don't buy Ford. For the price of the car and its reliability and sensitivity to add-ons, it really cannot be done. You cannot touch this system. So don't buy Ford. It's an expensive car. The service in Boston Auto sucks. I mean, 5 is not sucks lah. It's far. It's not in Labuan. If you're in Labuan, avoid buying Ford. If you're in Labuan, avoid buying Ford. If you're far away from KK, avoid buying Ford. Don't even think about buying one. It's really far. The service center is only in KK, Penampang lah. I heard there's another one. Don't buy Ford. Don't be like me, fall under my condition. It's really depressing, stressful, depressing. I mean, think about it. You're paying your monthly bank loan, and then you can't even drive the car. So, you know, don't buy a Ford, guys, really, for me. But if you a Ford lover, go ahead. It's a free country, free choice. You can go and do what you want with your money. Me, my first time owning a Ford, never again, never buying a Ford ever again, never touching this product again or anything like this. Okay, Boston Auto. About Boston Auto, don't buy from Boston Auto. If you can, if you must buy a Ford, buy from somebody else. I don't know about the management of other places, but I heard the management of other places, other agent for Ford is better, more responsive, more customer centric. Boston Auto, the management is not customer centric. They're purely business minded, who doesn't really care about customer. Based on what happened to me, So avoid buying from Boston Auto if you really have to buy Ford. But if you can avoid totally buying Ford, avoid it. Then you don't have to think about the Boston Auto thingy. Okay, now we go to Red Spring. Okay, the roller shutter. Initially, I was intend to buy the manual ones, but was recommended by Red Spring. That guy was dealing with a guy named Jay, so he recommended the Enclio Armor. He assured me that a lot of usage, no issue and stuff like that. I have all of this conversation on WhatsApp. I will attach it in this video. You can see how convincing they try to convince, and yeah. So I actually wanted to get a manual because I really didn't have a good feeling about the motorized version. So I was proven correct. The product is the motorized version is really bad. It's expensive, unreliable product. Don't buy. My personal recommendation, really, stay away from motorized roller shutter from Red Spring. This Armor Enclio, stay away from it. It's pricey, it's expensive. It's gonna cost you 4,000 plus shipping. First install is already what, 5,000 plus ringgit. So really, stay away from that product. Stay away from that product and stay away from Red Spring. The roll bar is good. That one I'm happy. That one you can go and buy Red Spring from Red Spring. The roll bar. That one is light, looks good. Yeah, don't buy. But in general, don't buy from Red Spring because okay. Now I'm asking them, trying to have I'm trying to have a adult conversation with them, professional conversation about them with regards to this roller shutter. I propose to exchange it with a manual one, the manual product also from them. I mean, for example, okay, they take back they take back this unit here, this 4,000 plus unit, and they just give me the manual one, which is cheaper, much cheaper than this motorized version. And then I'm not gonna even ask for money. They just, it's an exchange basis. I can even install it myself, of my own choice where I want to install it. So contacted Jay. Okay, I was redirected that he probably, that number that I used to contact is no longer the sales customer service. So I was directed to a certain Miss Fang. So greeted her good morning, and then I introduced myself. She replied, and then I explained to her about the situation and proposed exchange. Ignored, completely ignored now. She did not reply anything. No solution. I guess they didn't want that proposal. They didn't even consider that proposal. I mean, product sold, who? Your problem. Product sold, customer problem. Okay, Red Spring. So that is the way you do business. Okay, fine, I can understand. I will not be happy about it, and I don't think people will be happy about it. So anyway, it is what it is. So for customers who are considering, buying from Red Spring, perhaps they carry good product, but I believe the management attitude towards customer is much more appealing to me, a customer like me, because almost anybody carry a good product. For example, ARB or TJM, almost anybody can represent a good product. but it is the customer service and the honesty, professionalism that comes with the selling of the product. That is more important actually. You can sell your product at very high price, but if you don't support your customer, your customer will have a bitter taste in their mouth, just like what I'm experiencing now. So bird. There was a bird just now. So yeah, okay. I mean, this purchase, this Ford Raptor, Ford Ranger Raptor, and Red Spring experience has been really depressing and terrible for me personally. But let's see what's in store for this car for me. Maybe this car will give me some joy. I don't know. It's a bit hot. The cut wire is still dangling at the back there. You can see from my rear mirror. Damn it. Gonna zip tie that one. Okay, so this is the story of my experience with Ford Ranger Raptor V6 3.0 V6 twin turbo petrol engine and Red Spring. Okay, bye.